CNN host Chris Wallace recently had the chance to sit down and have a conversation with RNC chairwoman Ronna Romney McDaniel. And Chris Wallace was very poignant with Ms. McDaniel. He asked her point blank, isn't it bad that the Republicans may have a nominee in next year's election that is, by that point, a convicted felon? Now, Ronna did not want to answer this question. So Ronna did what Republicans do. She danced around it, and then, of course, she brought up two of the Republican Party's favorite talking points. But let me read you this exchange so you see how much Ronna danced around and refused to answer that very obvious question. Chris Wallace asks, "Let me ask you a question. Do you have any problem with the Republican Party nominating somebody who's under federal indictment?" Ronna responded and said, "I think the presumption of innocence stands, and I think there's a lot of Republicans who are very troubled. At the end of the day, Chris, though, it's not up to me, it's up to the voters." Okay, but you didn't answer the question. And there's more, I'll read that in a second, but let's also understand that Chris Wallace first asked, do you think it's okay to nominate somebody under federal indictment? He didn't say somebody that could be convicted. He just said, look, the guy's indicted. Do you think that's okay? And Ron was like, well, the presumption of innocence Nobody said it didn't. Nobody said he did the things that he's accused of doing. He was just asking if somebody under indictment makes you look bad, and you couldn't even answer that. So then Chris Wallace pressed her one more time, very directly. Do you have any problem with the Republican Party nominating a convicted felon? And she said, we're not even close to that, so I don't think we're even there. I think a lot of people are very concerned, Republicans especially. I hear this every day. Why is there one side of justice for Hillary Clinton, a different for Donald Trump, different for Hunter Biden? There it is. That's her response. Hey, you got a guy who's under indictment. He may be a convicted felon by this point next year in the race. You okay with that with your party? Well, Hillary Clinton and Hunter Biden. For the record, I don't know if I need to tell you all this or what, but I'm going to tell you anyway. Hillary Clinton's not running for president. Hunter Biden is not running for president. Neither of those people are currently running for president. Hillary Clinton was investigated just about more than anybody else who's ever run for public office, way more than Donald Trump. She actually did show up to Congress and sat through hours and hours and hours of questioning from hardcore conservatives. Donald Trump never showed up to be questioned by liberals in Congress. I don't like Hillary Clinton either. Don't think this is me Hillary's innocent. I don't like her. I had a lot of people on the left pissed off at me because in the 2016 election, I did negative stories about Hillary, but I always said she's better than Trump. So, do what you have to do. But if there was something to get her on, my God, they'd have gotten her on it, especially because we had 4 years of Donald Trump, not quite 4 years of Bill Barr at the DOJ. If they thought Hillary had done something, they would have investigated her. Same thing with Hunter Biden. They were actually given information about Hunter Biden and looked at it and said, this is nothing, we're not going to do it. But Ronna knows her base, she knows her Republican Party, and by God, when they want to deflect, they deflect hard. So they go back to Hillary Clinton. They go back to Hunter Biden, hoping that the public forgets that Donald Trump is under 71 different counts between two separate indictments.
Thanks for watching, everyone, and well, here comes the awkward part at the end of the video where I ask you to like, comment, and share, and subscribe for more content from Ring of Fire. Also, you should consider becoming a member for some exclusive content and perks, including early access videos and exclusive videos. Check out the link in the description.